Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at something very special. This is the Meteor Knives Hurricane. And we're checking this out with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. And I bought this knife myself, and this was designed by Meteor Knives, and it was also OEM'd in-house by Meteor Knives. Now, to get this knife and a bunch of other really awesome knives, you can go to exclusivefolders.com. I shop there all the time. I get a ton of knives from there, and what I like about it is that it's got nothing but unique knives that you really can't find anywhere else. This, for example, I've never seen this before until I saw it on exclusivefolders.com. And once I saw it there, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to have it. Yeah, I just really, really dig this knife. But check out Meteor and check out exclusivefolders.com. Meteor has awesome designs. And Exclusive Folders has Meteor designs as well as a whole bunch of others. Now, I'm not sponsored. I don't get anything for this. But you guys know I support small makers and I support small shops. And we're lucky enough to have a knife that supports both small makers and a small shop. Now, I'll have all their socials linked down in the description. If you do nothing else, go check out their Instagram, their TikTok. You'll see some stuff that'll blow your mind. So, all right, jumping right into it. We have this really nice dark stone wash titanium scales front and back. We have a deep carry titanium pocket clip. We do have a lanyard hole right here, but it's out of the way, and I think it complements the aesthetic. And then we've got this full back spacer. So very nice. As far as the ergonomics go, this is one of the best grips you can get because it's that gun stock grip, right? So not only do you get a ton of handle, but you get excellent ergonomics to back it up. So I've got large size hands, so I have a full 4-finger grip, and you have a choke up spot here. So you can choke up and you'll have a few inches left on the back end. Or you can choke back and have plenty of room, for nothing crazy hard use, but you'll have plenty of room if you have to like cut a branch or something like that. When I say branch, I mean like a twig. But what's so well thought out is that if I choke back, I've got a groove for my pointer finger. If I choke forward, I've got a groove right here, and then my middle finger fits right into this groove. And then my two back fingers can hold onto this gun stock grip and feel locked in. So the grip on this thing is fantastic. We do have functional jimping. It doesn't completely lock you in, but it does cause enough friction to kind of keep you in place. I'm willing to bet we are pretty butt heavy, but that's okay because your pointer finger can still go right here into this grip and it feels perfectly balanced. Now, if you choke up a little bit, you're going to feel butt heavy. But, I mean, it's nothing insane, nothing that, you can't just deal with. It's not uncomfortable. It's not cumbersome. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big knife. But the balance is fine. Now, we are rocking a compound ground Tonto blade. Well, technically, it's a compound ground harpoon Tonto. And for anyone that doesn't know, this makes it a harpoon. Having a point here and a point here makes it a Tonto. Having this arch instead of a flat bottom makes it a recurve. And then having a thick grind, like a flat grind up here and a hollow grind back here, with a line that divides, makes it a compound grind. So we have a harpoon, Tonto, recurve with a compound grind. And then we've got this awesome belt satin for, let me try to shine it in the light. There you go. We have an awesome belt satin up here, and then for the blade, and then we just have a plain satin for the flats. This is rocking M390 blade steel. I believe it's HRC 61 to 63. And as far as the action, considering how big the knife is, we've got a really nice snappy deployment. The acoustics on the way up are fantastic. And it's super easy to deploy. You would think it might be harder, but it is riding on washers too. So this is incredibly smooth considering it is on washers. We have a nice little shake shut. Now this did have really nice drop acoustics whenever I first got it out of the box, but I took it apart. I polished the washers, semi-polished. It was on 3000 grit. And I put it back together, centered everything up, and I don't have the awesome tink that I had whenever I first got it out of the box. So that's something I'm going to have to work on. Front flipper. Oh, that was my bad. Works great. You also have these interesting thumb studs. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Max Ace Titanus, where it's got like long thumb studs instead of just like a ball. So you can get underneath right here and flip it open. You can also just get behind the thumb stud. Oh, that was my bad. And you can flip it open. You can use your nail or the fat of your finger. You can also thumb flick it. And then you guys already saw me top flip. You can side finger flick it. Easy enough. Over time, as the washers break in, this will become a hydraulic close where it just closes consistently, smoothly, and then shuts completely. The lock bar access is super comfortable. They've got this scalloped out, and then they've got, if you look, you have plenty of access to the lock bar, and it's got these little jimps, not on the inside, thank God, but on the outside. That way you can just take your thumb, go in, apply a little pressure, and close the knife. Now, as far as lefty friendly, I couldn't do it. I tried. I wasn't able to. An actual lefty would probably have better luck than me, but I wasn't able to manipulate it very well at all. Now, as far as size comparisons go, we're going to bring out the Max Ace Peregrine, one of my favorite Max Ace knives, very Sebenza-like, and it gets pretty well dwarfed by the Hurricane. And the Hurricane is coming in at about 8.7 inches overall with a blade length of 3.93, and that gives a blade to handle ratio of 0.76 or 76%. And it has an overall weight of 7.09 ounces. It is a big boy. We're going to bring out the goated Real Steel Sylph. If you can't afford a Chavez or a Chavez Blue Label or the iconic Chavez series, you can pick this guy up for about 40 bucks. Strong detent, snappy action, kind of feels like a Chavez. This is also getting dwarfed. And we're going to go ahead and bust out the Civivi Altus. which is also getting absolutely stomped into the dirt size-wise. Now, do I recommend this knife? Well, the price point on it is $269. What are you getting for $269? Well, you're getting a massive knife coming in at the 8.7 inches. This thing's a beast. You're getting massive, sturdy titanium scales. You're getting a ton of blade. In just raw materials, I would say it's worth it. You know, big hunk of M390. We have contouring on the scales. Great ergonomics. This knife is truly fantastic. It's not often where I'm really, really impressed with a knife, especially from a smaller maker. I support smaller makers, but I don't support them blindly. So if it's a small maker and they have a crappy knife, I'm going to say it's a crappy knife, right? This absolutely worth it. For the same thing, we would charge $375. For the same thing, MaxAce would probably charge around $300. This is $269. And I love it. I mean, is it maximized for EDC? No. It's big. It's a little cumbersome. And while you can use the blade just fine, most people don't need a Harpoon Tonto recurve blade with a compound grind. So this knife isn't meant to be your EDC. It can be, but it's not meant for that. You've got plenty of knives that you can EDC, like the Real Steel Sylph. This is for enthusiasts, right? This is for the big boys and girls that are invested in the knife community, that want to support small makers, that love interesting knives, people that want a little extra sauce and sass with their everyday carry, and this knife delivers that. Yeah, really big fan. Normally I don't review a knife the second it comes in. This thing just came in tonight, and I messed with it, and I was like, I have to review it. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this knife. Very aggressive, very stylistic. You can see that risks were taken, right, with the blade shape, with the thumb studs. I didn't even talk about the bronzed pivot collar, which is on both sides as well. All T8 hardware and a nice little over travel stop. So for me, this would be a user, not a collection piece. Although it could be either, for depending on what type of collection you have. This thing to me is just too fun. It's too fun to sit in a box. It's too fun not to carry with me. And, you bust this thing out and people are going to start asking questions like, what is that? Where did you get it? It's so cool. I know. It's pretty freaking cool. All right, guys, tell me down in the comments, is this something that you would collect, or is this something that you would carry and use on a regular basis? And, they do have other variations, one with bronzed titanium scales instead of the stonewash. That looks pretty good. Stonewash is always going to be my preference, but they do have other versions. They did have an all-Damascus version, which looked sick, but they were sold out. So, yeah, tell me down in the comments, would you collect this or would you carry it? And check in the comments as well, or check in the description for links to Meteor and links to exclusivefolders.com. And like I said, if you do nothing else, just check out the website and also check out the Instagram page, because you're going to see some crazy knives that you will not see anywhere else. I mean, it's an adventure. And since I found the site, I've probably bought 4 or 5 knives from them. Some in full Damascus, some in full zirconium. And like I said, this isn't sponsored. I don't get anything for it. I just really like to support small makers, small shops get them on the map, especially when they're doing truly amazing things, like stocking knives that you can't buy anywhere else, right? And providing amazing customer service. And small makers that develop really interesting knives. You know, typically a smaller maker is going to come out and, play it safe. And Meteor came out and swung for the fences. And I think it turned out wonderfully. But that's all I have for you today, guys. I appreciate it so much. The love and support is much appreciated. If you want to support the channel, there's ways to do that down in the description with Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo. Shipping runs about $240 a month, and that is actually about to go up because all the shipping prices are going to go up. So if you want to help your boy out, by all means, please and thank you. Nothing but love, guys. Peace.